Reckless spending in this town is what causes inflation, and we cannot continue to increase taxes on the American people and put a target on American energy production while spending a historic $370 billion on Green New Deal initiatives and expect.
If you enjoy in-depth breakdowns of the biggest moments in Congress, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications because today we're looking at one of the most heated House floor exchanges in recent memory. Representative Lauren Boebert's speech opposing the Inflation Reduction Act ended in a dramatic confrontation after she continued speaking beyond her allotted time. Let's break down what happened, what was argued, and why this moment continues to generate debate.
Reserves. Gentleman from Missouri is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, I yield 1 minute to the gentle lady from Colorado.
Gentlewoman from Colorado is recognized for 1 minute.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Insanity is doing the same thing repeatedly and expecting a different result. That makes the supporters of this legislation, by definition, insane. Reckless spending in this town is what causes inflation, and we cannot continue to increase taxes on the American people and put a target on American energy production while spending a historic $370 billion on Green New Deal initiatives and expect to lower inflation and improve our economy. Remember that so-called bipartisan infrastructure bill? Yeah, we spent $200 billion on Green New Deal initiatives. I guess that was just a down payment on this never-ending theft of American tax dollars. We are sacrificing, you are sacrificing American families at the altar of climate change. Mr. Speaker, isn't it so? Joe Biden himself said inflation rate is at 0%. The exact opposite of what Americans need right now. This is just another con game by the Democrats, calling something one thing and saying another.
Expired.
This is making the IRS, which
Gentlewoman's time has expired.
The Pentagon, the State Department,
gentlewoman is no longer recognized. The gentleman from Missouri reserves the belt.
Mr. Speaker.
Representative Lauren Boebert sparked a dramatic moment in the House of Representatives after refusing to immediately cede the floor while criticizing the Inflation Reduction Act. In this video, we examine her arguments, the procedural dispute that followed, and the broader debate surrounding the legislation. We also explore the perspectives of both supporters and critics to provide context for one of the week's most widely discussed congressional moments. If you enjoy congressional hearing highlights, political analysis, and breaking news from Washington, be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications.
At 0%. So what the heck are we doing here? Why are we passing this so-called Inflation Reduction Act if it's at 0%? Well, in fact, it's the Inflation Enhancement
Gentlewoman's
Act.
time has expired.
And it does the exact opposite of what Americans need right now. This is just another con game by the Democrats, calling something one thing and saying another.
Expired.
This is making the IRS, which
Gentlewoman's time has expired.
The Pentagon, the State Department,
gentlewoman is no longer recognized. The gentleman from Missouri reserves the belt.
Mr. Speaker. How much time do you need?
The gentlewoman is no longer recognized. Her time has expired. The gentleman from Missouri reserves.
I will yield an additional 30 seconds to the gentlelady from Colorado to finish her comments.
Gentleman is recognized for an additional 30 seconds.
This bill hires 87,000 new IRS agents, and they are armed, and the job description tells them that they need to be required to carry a firearm and expect to use deadly force if necessary. Excessive taxation is theft, and the chairman said that we are using the power of the federal government in this bill. You're darn right you're using the power of the federal government for armed robbery on the taxpayers. I can only see why that this was rushed through committee and put on the floor.
Gentlewoman's time has expired. Gentlewoman's time has expired. She is no longer recognized. The gentleman from Missouri reserves. The gentleman from Kentucky is recognized.
One of the most talked about moments from a House floor came when Representative Lauren Boebert delivered a forceful speech criticizing the Inflation Reduction Act before engaging in a tense procedural exchange over speaking time. Boebert's central argument was that government spending has contributed significantly to inflation. She maintained that previous spending packages, including the bipartisan infrastructure law, added hundreds of billions of dollars to federal expenditures and that additional spending would not solve inflationary pressures. She also criticized the legislation's investments in clean energy and climate initiatives. According to Boebert, these provisions represented misplaced priorities at a time when many Americans were concerned about rising prices for food, fuel, and other necessities. Another point she raised focused on statements from President Joe Biden regarding inflation. Boebert questioned why Congress was considering an Inflation Reduction Act if administration officials had suggested